We have none other than my auntie. What would you like to be? I'm gonna let you. What would you want? What would you want the people to reference you by?
I mean, my moniker online is Diva D.
All right, Auntie
So we
Diva
can
D.
roll-
Let's
we
give it
can
up.
roll
Auntie
with
Diva
it.
D, you heard?
You know.
How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you, gentlemen? Everybody good? Feeling good?
Good.
I know what you've been drinking, so I know you're feeling good.
Already getting started.
Shout out to Jim.
Shout out to
Shout out to Jim.
There's several
Jigga.
bartenders around.
That's a
Jigga,
fact.
what up, ho?
That's a fact. We got the whole family here.
Yep.
Whole family came down from the city to celebrate, one of our own who's about to have a whole kid.
Man,
My young bull.
young lad.
Man, shout out to young lad, man.
Yes.
Having a baby boy,
Baby boy.
man.
And real quick for all our Tulsa listeners, when we say the city, we mean New Orleans. I
New
don't call them the
Orleans,
city.
yeah.
Talk about New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they know that by now.
They not gonna know that.
They're not gonna know that.
No.
All right.
Well, I actually live in Atlanta too, so.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But for the people folk, the
Right.
city
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, she got a fan base, so they gonna want to know that.
They gonna need to know.
Yeah.
We representing holistically for the dirty South. How's that?
Yeah, okay.
I like that.
Okay, I
All
like
right.
that. I like that.
Can we do that?
I like that.
All right. So jumping right into it. As we can see, she has her own camera. So as we can see,
I don't like your attitude. First of all, go ahead.
somebody is dapper with a team Pirates. All right, I'm not gonna do that to him. Super Bowl champs,
55.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We don't need no crowd. We don't need no crowd cheers right
Oh, my
here,
bad.
because none of these people over here are Buccaneer fans.
I ain't they're
Not
not.
one.
But I think my Bucks beat your Eagles in 2002 when they went to their first.
Listen,
Man, listen,
Championship?
that's like
Rob, get a
it's like
Rob.
wrong-
Get a Rob.
I mean,
2000,
y'all know
2000,
y'all were like, what,
Get a
4
Rob.
or some shit,
2002.
but I'm just
I don't even remember that.
Get a Rob. Get a
I'm
Rob.
just saying, it's
Get a
all
Rob.
good.
Get a Rob.
Brady wasn't there. We ain't even gonna talk about that.
It's all good.
How do you feel? Because one, I will give you credit. You are
The one and only
the
Buccaneers
one and
fan that
only
you ever will
true
know.
Buccaneer fan that I know.
Yes,
All right, and to the last one y'all won was in 2000.
it was 2002.
That was a monster squad. John Lynch, Derrick Brooks,
Defense was a beast.
Keyshawn Johnson.
That is correct.
Didn't y'all have one of the Tiki? You had one of the Barber
Yeah,
brothers, right?
Tiki
Rondé.
Barber.
Rondé.
We
Rondé?
have the good twin. Tiki is the bad twin.
Right. So how does it feel? 2002 was the last Super Bowl championship in which y'all murdered the Oakland Raiders, which I remember being a kid being surprised by that because I could have swore like Jerry Rice, Tim Brown, Rich Gannon. I was like,
They was gonna get it.
I got the Raiders, and the Bucks came in and made it I don't think I started seeing people celebrate like that before the win was actually official. I can't remember seeing that in my time. That was like one of the first times I seen the team cheering and popping bottles before the bell was up. Like, you remember watching that game, right?
it was
Because
legendary.
they say we whippersnappers.
Yeah, they
so
say we
don't-
young, we don't know
We was
nothing.
about 10 at that time,
Okay.
but I remember watching that.
Yeah,
right?
I was old enough.
That's what's up.
How does it feel? 2021 coming back, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl champs. How do you feel as a fan?
Well, first of all, my fandom started in 1993.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It's not just because of the Brady bandwagoners
Let
showing
them
up.
know.
Let
them know.
But it,
y'all.
That's
and
for
quite
y'all.
honestly, I kind of saw it coming with the defense this year. They were very reminiscent of the 2002 defense because the secondary started coming together towards the end of the season. And I know the Bucs don't get national time, so
Okay.
I know, but I have NFL Sunday ticket for a reason. I mean, let's be clear. I live in Atlanta, so that's a Falcons town, and I'm not watching the Falcons every Sunday. So I have to be able to watch my Bucs. So I saw them gelling at the right time. Pass rush, between Shaq Barrett and JPP was coming together. So I was excited more so for the defense, As mentioned, I don't necessarily know if it was mentioned on air. I'm not really a Brady fan. I could do
Well,
without
no.
him.
We about to get right. We
I
about to get
got
right
you.
to that.
But I feel good about it. I feel better about this team winning than the 2002 team winning because I think there's a little bit of longevity there because they're a very young defense. The defense in 2002, I remember their first game coming back. They played the Indianapolis Colts, Peyton Manning. and that defense looked like they were tired. And Peyton had his biggest comeback against our team in that opening game.
With the Omaha?
Yes.
So,
and he ended up beating us. I'm like, oh, yeah, this little defense ain't going to make it through that. And we were the first team to never even make the playoffs the next year after winning the Super Bowl.
Did you remember that?
They didn't. Y'all didn't. It's fine. I'm here for the history. It's okay.
That's why we appreciate
it. It could be a history.
That's why we appreciate you.
So, the wisdom is there. But, yeah, so I feel good about it.
Jeez,
I'm excited.
Came in hot.
I
So, yeah, as you mentioned, you are one of Brady's. I ain't even gonna call you a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Because you give. I've seen you give props where props is due.
Yes.
You just don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say more so, unfortunately, for the political affiliation that kind of surfaced and then kind of went away.
Right.
But you know how that goes, the politically correctness of it all. But I respect Brady and his work ethic, let's be clear. He was a 6th-round draft pick. Nobody saw him coming. And he took the New England Patriots on a 20-year dynasty.
Yeah.
Man.
So you can't do nothing but respect that, right?
For sure.
Man, Rob, I told you she was coming with the takes, bro. Rob, she coming with the takes, G. I wasn't prepared.
I wasn't.
I was like, yeah, he did do all that.
I'm saying, and at the end of the day, with starting, I'm like, I can't like Brady. I'm listening to these interviews with our young players, like the Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Bucs, been there 7 years, never seen a playoff game. The Levante Davids, been there 8-9 years, never seen a game.
Crazy.
So listening to how he came in and just changed the entire culture of that building.
Were you worried about the dynamics between him and Bruce Arians? Like them early rumblings of them having issues early?
I was not, because, well, let's be clear. Byron Leftwich kind of got a little side eye from me coming in as our offensive coordinator. Because my last memory of Byron Leftwich was on side. The Steelers, look at your daddy. You little Steelers quarterback throwing that little. I'm like, what? Do I want him teaching my quarterback to throw like that? I don't know. So, but he, and I said, well, Bruce Arians trust him, because I have followed Bruce's career when he was with Arizona Cardinals and all that stuff. So I said, if he trusts him, I got to trust him. And I think ultimately I was never concerned, because I think they're all professionals. Mm-hmm. Brady wants to win. That's just it.
Right.
His saying is, what's the best ring is the next ring. So my thing is, I know they will figure it out. They're all professionals. Everybody has their system. But I think the difference in, shout out to Jameis Winston, my NFL nephew, although he threw 30 touchdowns, he also threw 30 picks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I think the difference in with Brady coming in is Brady had a resume that he can, reflect upon the coaching staff and say, well, I get what you're saying, but let's try it this way. Mm-hmm. Jameis didn't really have that, pedigree about him. Yeah. He was just
Brady
a winning
national
championship quarterback. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think Brady's whole attitude coming in and saying, well, let's try this way. And you saw a little bit of the Patriots offense kind of reflect on that field. Yeah. I don't care what they say. Right. I'm like, no, that's not that. No. Because I watched plenty of his Super Bowls, and they were the same type of, running game and short passes and, all different types of areas of that offense that Brady's comfortable in.
So when we did the sports pod, I believe it's probably episode 1, where we talked about the NFL teams with the most to prove. Mm-hmm. Now, my man said your mans and them got the most to prove, and I'll let Rob explain real quick why he feels like they had the most to prove.
And we're talking about 2021 season?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like they do it only because I was surprised that he came and won it year 1.
Okay.
I didn't think it was possible, but especially since early on in the season they struggled with injuries. Like you said, defense wasn't really clicking like that. Right. But they picked it up mid-season and right where it mattered. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, if he did it, what seemed easily going through what Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, with the Breeze, no pun intended.
Right.
I feel like, why can't you do it again? Mm-hmm. So for me personally, there's pressure, because I just want to see how great. We know Tom Brady is great, but I feel like if he can do it again, that would be phenomenal, because he did it so easily with the first one.
Yeah, but you got to remember the last quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls. It was Tom Brady. So, at the end of the day, he's the correct person to take that team, that young defense.
For sure.
Because, again, we're talking about in the middle of a pandemic season.
Yeah.
There was no off-season, any type of training camp, none of that stuff. It was all virtual.
Yeah.
And so their chemistry had to be evolved somewhere.
Right.
There was no preseason anything.
Yeah, so it took time.
When I saw we had to go against the Saints opening game, I'm like, oh, we about to catch this L. Because it ain't going to be right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Drew Brees and that team had been together. They barely entered the draft. They didn't really the Saints really didn't pick up a lot of players because they had their core squad. So I knew there was going to be a struggle initially.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize that he still had that same physical capability that he had. And when he started slinging that ball down the field, I'm like, oh, this is about to be a problem.
Yeah.
So, I think they probably have more to prove because, let's be clear, everybody's gunning for the champions, right?
Right,
so
for sure.
every game, regular season, it's like we're playing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's definitely going to be something to prove. Like, was it a fluke?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I see that defense only getting better because they're still so young.
For sure. I believe
and they have a good mix of veterans and young players.
Yeah.
Rob, who do you think the Bucs are going to have the issue with the most in the NFC? If you had to just think about it off top.
I mean, you got to go Green Bay. I mean, I feel like they got the best overall defense with speed, veteran presence, and then, of course, you got Aaron Rodgers. You can't ever count him out. Aaron Jones came back. They still got Devontae Adams. So they got to get Aaron Rodgers another receiver. But outside of that, I feel like Green Bay is easily the number one, option that who they'll struggle with the most or who they'll have to worry about.
Who do you feel like y'all are going to struggle with the most in the NFC?
Well, quite honestly, the NFC South division-wise is tough. So,
you still think it's tough with Drew out and
I think Sean Payton is a problem.
Sam Darnold.
Sean Payton is a problem. Okay. I mean, Carolina, they're still trying to figure themselves out.
Yeah.
And let's be clear, Matt Ryan still has the ability to get that offense going.
They just need a running back.
They need a running back.
They're talking about getting them. They try. People are lobbying for Atlanta to get a quarterback though.
They are, and
you don't believe it?
They shouldn't. I think with a healthy O-line, Matt still got 3 years in him.
He does. I mean, I watched Matt when we played them. The very first game we played them, we were down 17-0 going halftime, and I knew we was about to catch an L because we kind of like split with them normally. But their defense, they got to have a pass rusher, because their defense started letting Brady go up and down the field. It was reminiscent of Super Bowl, 52, 50, whatever one they lost. It was horrible.
I thought
so
I was
I'm like,
dreaming.
y'all just keep letting Brady do this to y'all. What is wrong with y'all? But anyway, so honestly, our division is tough, but at the same time, Green Bay is definitely, because Aaron Rodgers has a chip on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. Let's be clear. He mad about something.
Yeah.
But my problem with Aaron Rodgers, something happens when he starts losing. I see him fold like a lawn chair.
Yeah.
Like
Hey, watch out. Hey. Watch out. Discount double check.
I'm just saying. You can discount double check it all you want to.
Watch out.
But week 6, when we played them, they were up 10-0, and we got a pick 6.
COVID season.
Is that so? My Super Bowl don't count because it's COVID season. Let's talk through it.
I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, so
But you need to teach your quarterback how to win when he's losing.
But you also got to give him that credit. You got a brand new coach, Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. But
you said week 6 y'all played him.
We did.
They probably just started figuring that out, and even then, at the end of the season, they had an opportunity to win it. The coach decided to do something.
So what happened in the NFC Championship game when he needed it at Lambeau Field? That's what he said.
That coach, that play caller.
So we want to say
the game out of their hands.
So he want to say he couldn't run the ball them extra 3-4 yards, at least get on the 2-yard line. When the field was wide open.
Maybe they shouldn't have kicked the field goal.
Yeah, they shouldn't have kicked the field goal.
Prior to the field goal, the ball was in Aaron Rodgers'
Revisionist history. Revisionist history.
Oh, now we don't talk about it?
Revisionist history. We talking about the play that made SportsCenter, the decision that made SportsCenter, the decision that made SportsCenter.
Matt LaFleur.
Right, was Matt LaFleur deciding to kick the ball.
Let's be clear.
Giving Tom Brady the ball back.
I was surprised he took it out of his hands as well. However,
prior.
When he trying to force the ball 100 times to hit the receiver who done dropped about 400 other passes. What we doing? Run the ball, bruh.
I agree. He had the space.
Don't agree. Rob, don't agree. Don't fold. Don't fold. She wrecking shop in here right now.
Listen, it's the football IQ. I can't be mad at it. It's the football IQ. I can't be mad at it.
Feel me? Because if your coach see you at the half-yard line versus the 8-yard line,
I knew this was gonna happen.
He might go for it.
I knew Rob was gonna be.
You feel me?
Granted, I'm not giving the coach off the hook, but I understand where you feel me. Yeah, I understand.
Now it should have been more communication because clearly, Aaron Rodgers thought he had 4 downs.
Yeah,
he didn't realize that was his last down on that field.
Yeah,
so he was like, "Well, let me just throw it away," and he thought he had another down to deal with. And Matt LaFleur was like, "No." I'm like, so you gonna give the ball to Brady with 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck and Godspeed.
Yeah. Terrible idea.
Well,
my bad.
I knew that was going. I knew Rob was going. You make sense because Rob's a sensible dude. So when it makes sense, it makes sense.
It makes sense. I can't hate it.
All right. So last thing on the Bucs.
Yes.
As much as you love the Bucs, you despise Brady. How tough is it to balance your love for the Bucs? Like, I'm a huge LeBron fan, but seeing him in purple and gold,
that hurt.
It does something to my spirit.
Yeah, you ain't right. Your mentals ain't right. You gonna be all right watching that and him in that purple?
I haven't really recovered. I ain't gonna lie. Like watching him, and then my second favorite player is AD.
Oh wow!
Right. And so watching these dudes
They're
win.
They're both on that team.
I know. So it's like I'm not mad that they win. I'm not happy that they won. And I'm mad at myself that I'm not mad at the fact that they won.
Yeah, I feel you. So it's like family, right?
Okay.
So
break it down.
This is how I've learned to view Tom Brady. You know. Tom Brady is that rich uncle that's married into the family. He comes in and brings all the kids nice gifts at Christmas. Everybody's excited. He's very polite. Bring everybody nice gifts. But he leave, everybody talk about him. He always think he all that. He always. So that's how I've come to my, dealing with the Brady bunch, so to speak.
The Brady bunch.
But I will say, they trying to pull me in a little bit with all the little interviews from the other players. They're like, oh my God, he's one of the guys. He's so cool. I'm like, what?
They say the same thing about LeBron. It's cool.
They do.
It's when you're in a GOAT conversation, it just is.
Right. You can relate.
You know what I'm saying? So
you should be relatable to
LeBron,
the people.
Tom, I mean, LaTom.
So, but that's how he the rich uncle that bring the kids nice gifts, and then when he leave, everybody just still talk about it.
If more Lakers fans had your attitude, I wouldn't be like tight at them like I am.
I feel you.
When they begin to appreciate the blessing that God has given them. You know what I mean? Like,
did we bring him like the second coming of Jesus? Was that who
I mean, he was the chosen one.
He the chosen one. The Bucks rose real quick.
Right. As soon as he got there, the Lakers all of a sudden, oh wait, they in the playoffs? Like,
right.
Oh, they want a chip?
I know.
Oh, okay.
Don't get started.
Oh, okay. It's already started.
That's Pops, y'all.
It's all Pops. Pops got his 2 cents in,
So before we switch topics, I'm gonna go ahead and throw one more question in there.
Okay.
Yes.
As a Bucks fan, how does it feel having Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles, 2 African American coaches, and having a female strength and conditioning? So, like, y'all are the first team to have diversity.
Yes.
So how does it feel being a long time Bucks fan?
Good question, Rob.
So let's be clear. I did mention my fandom. So, what's our black quarterback? Doug.
Black quarter. Oh,
Washington football team. He won it with them.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. What are you talking about though?
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams. So knowing how they did Doug Williams long ago.
Yeah.
It was a little hard to root for him at that point, but at the same time, I think that the Glazer family has really come a long way. because a football, NFL as an organization needs to understand what runs their team. Like 85% of the players are black.
Yeah, facts.
So when you come into work, you want to feel like people understand you, right? So you need those type of people in the locker rooms and on the field. So I really am kind of proud of that fact that Bruce Arians, which I think I mentioned earlier, I watched Bruce Arians' football life.
Yeah.
And he caught my attention when he was with the Arizona Cardinals then. He's a very, very, very understanding coach of knowing who his players are, understanding their culture, breaking down through barriers that may be, because I'm a manager of people at work. And people come to work and may have an attitude, but you don't necessarily know why they have that attitude. You can't relate to them unless you talk to them.
Right.
Bruce Arians is that guy. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited how far they've come.
Yeah.
And just hope to see more in the future. I think it's awesome, as a lover of football. And I'll just explain to the folks why I love football so much. Football to me is a representation of life. That no matter how good you are at something, you need a team to be successful. Yeah. So you can have an excellent quarterback. We see what Brady had when he was in New England. He's an excellent quarterback, but he ain't had no pieces around him. He couldn't win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that truly is a representation for me as far as life. So that's why I kind of picked up on that.
Shout out to that. That's love. All right. Super Bowl next year?
Yeah, I ain't going to do that. Not to myself.
No.
I mean, let me explain something. When you have a love for a team, I didn't even realize I was this bad because I tried to break away from football, especially with all the protests and stuff. I'm like, they're getting on my nerves. But when my team plays, I realize I can't eat during until the game over. Like, what is wrong with you?
I'm the same way. I be stressed.
Like, what?
I be stressed during the game.
With that stress.
Or I be in the man cave like...
And, my husband is a cook. He loves barbecuing, so he like, babe, I got da-da-da. I'm like, bro, I get to it. And they got a late game. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
They ain't eating until the next day. So I don't want to. I just want to roll with the flow, enjoy the moment. I think we'll be in a conversation.
Absolutely.
Definitely feel like we'll be in the playoffs.
But y'all signed everybody back.
We did, except for Antonio Brown. He's confused why he's not signed. But
I mean, y'all didn't need him.
We don't.
So
and they picked up I can never say his name.
Giovanni Bernard. Yeah.
Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah, from the Bengals. Yeah, which
is another. We got about 5 dang running backs in the running back room. Like, how many gonna play?
2. Somebody
so I'm excited about that too. But again, we just talked about everybody's gunning for your squad. So, and once you got good film on it, we see what happened to Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't right. Patrick Mahomes saw like 15 people on the field at once, and they were all coming for him.
They got spooky for Pat.
This man ran 600 yards.
It was 479 yards he ran.
Crazy.
And did not get a first down for 2 times.
That's tough. That's so tough.
When you put it like that.
That's tough. When I saw that, I'm like, man, that hurts.
So, so they got film on you. We'll see how, they evolve.
Yeah.
But I think, like we mentioned, unfortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately, we have the GOAT in the quarterback room.
Yeah. He's going to be good. Everybody else going to have to adjust. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. But I'm so excited for the players because I saw the talent, being an avid fan. Of course, nationally, it was not known. But we have had the talent for a while, especially Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans, 1,000 yards every season.
He has 7,000 yards.
For sure, yeah.
He beat out Randy Moss.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So,
Yeah. And shout out to Rob. Rob is like year in, year out when we do the fantasy leagues and stuff. We get to talk about football. He always brings up Tampa Bay as a team that's like one piece away. Person away. So Rob's seen it for
They've been good for a while, man. They just missed.
And our secondary was a bit suspect for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, but the running defense is number 2, the second year in a row. So they figured some things out.
Well, man, She know her football, man.
Facts.
That's a fact. Okay, so transitioning out of football real quick.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Unc. You and Unc celebrating 26 years of marriage this year.
Yeah, we hit 26 January 7th. Close to 26 and a half at this point, but yes.
Okay, so what's one piece of advice you would give to younger married couples, but married couples in general, but younger married couples?
Me.
Shout out to Rob.
Okay, you need some advice?
I always need to talk to me.
I got
So
you.
what's one piece of advice you would give the younger married couples on how to last in marriage, how to create that type of longevity, 26 years?
Well, first thing I'll say, at the end of the day, communication is key. I mean, you have to be able to communicate, and the hard conversations have to be had. And they have to be had in the most level-headed way. So you may not necessarily have that conversation in the moment, but definitely has to be had at some point. Always date your mate, no matter what, because there's a reason that you were attracted to them and they were attracted to you. Yeah. So you have to continue to keep that spice no matter what. I remember doing things like, I ain't going to tell y'all all my business, but...
Please don't.
Whoa.
I mean, it's out of respect. It's out of respect.
I didn't like your tone, sir.
It's out of respect. I don't want you to go too left field.
I'm giving you advice. I'm not. But there was a time where he came home from work. Mm-hmm. And I had, this is back when we forwarded phones from the house to the cell, because I know y'all are confused about a house phone.
Huh?
We had house phones.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, the rotary joint.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Had the house phone with the long string that could reach to the back room.
But I had forwarded the phone from the house to my cell phone. Mm-hmm. And so he would call like, babe, I'm on my way home. I said, okay. But I had packed in my bag. I had gotten a staycation hotel downtown Atlanta, packed in my bag with the key on top of the suitcase. So he came home and a note with the room number. So he came home, saw that, and met me at the hotel. You know, so little stuff like that where it's like, oh, okay. So he thinking he coming home to me, but, you know, he had to go, you know, scavenger hunt type deal. So
that's dope.
But little stuff like that, you have to, and you just have to be understanding of who you are independently from your spouse. Because if you don't know who you are,
that's a fact.
You cannot respond to anything that they do or say to you.
Wow, yeah.
That's heat.
I never heard it put that way.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
that's
then I think I'll end it on this note, kind of elaborate on that. You have to have an independent life from your spouse, understanding that as long as there's no disrespect into your life together, that everything is cohesive. You know, I mean, the guys' trips are fine. You know, come back and everybody's flourished and refreshed. You know what I'm saying? The girls' trips are fine, but you have to have those relationships outside of your spouse, because if you don't, you'll find yourself really trapped into looking around, and God forbid something happens and they're no longer here, then you're really in a world of hurt. Yeah. So it just helps with everything. And make sure you bring positivity around your folks. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that one negative Nancy, you know, downer David, and they be like, man, why you with her? She always cooking and stuff. You like, what? You mad? You know? What? So make sure you flourish it with positivity.
You got anything?
No, that's heat.
All right. So, being that you have a lot of life experience.
I do. I think you just called me old. That's fine.
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say seasoned.
Okay, that's fine.
So you know, we hear things today.
Mm-hmm.
First, let me ask you: are you familiar with a gentleman named Kevin Samuels?
I am not.
Okay, you gotta go watch this dude.
Okay.
But there's a lot of talk in the social sphere about the definition of a high value man.
Okay.
All right, what a high value man is.
Mm-hmm.
When you think high value man, what do you think? Just off top.
High value man. I've never heard the term. So, I mean, let's just talk about someone who's contributing positively to society.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Someone who is trying to build upon whatever their weaknesses are to make sure their strengths remain strong.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot that you can add into a high-value man, but I got to understand the context in which the term was coined.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. I'm the same way. Like, how was it used? Well,
I mean, have you heard the term?
I've heard of the guy, but I ain't never checked nothing out of him. Like, I see FBI and Crockett doing, like, the funny ones, but I ain't never seen his personal stuff. So
he
Right.
identifies as a high value man, as a guy that makes a certain amount of money.
Okay.
Lives with a certain amount of independence.
Okay.
Where he doesn't need anybody, need a woman for anything.
Oh, okay.
Other than relationship, a love, a companionship. But doesn't need him to build on life or create businesses or this, that, and the third. So that's typically the definition of a quote unquote high value man, for which he speaks of and what's going around on the internet.
Okay.
So my question for you would be, for younger women out there, in our age bracket, early 20s, late 20s, what would you tell a young woman today to look for in a man?
Yeah, so that's a tough one, because I think the problem, especially in today's society, we have the flex mode and the whole social media
And you live
movement.
in Atlanta too,
man.
And I live in Atlanta, and it is a full make it till you fake it city, okay?
Yeah.
They will flex on Insta and be living in their doggone car, okay? So it really is, first of all, what can you bring to the table as a woman, okay? What are your values that you have to build that relationship? You and your sound effects, you're killing me. But
Drop a bomb for that.
Hey, Clue, drop that bomb for me.
You heard me?
But what, because I really looked like me and your uncle. We started out, I was 21. He was 23. We were both in the military and trying to, build and sustain a life together. We built together.
Yeah.
And we built together to a point to where when I got out in the civilian world and he finally got out, the incomes may have shifted. But however, he's always the man in my house.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
At the end of the day, it's a partnership. You have to understand that, maybe the playing ground may get a little uneven at times, but everyone knows what the rules are. So bring the partnership mindset to the relationship. What can he give me? No. What can you give yourself?
Man, I hope they listening.
I hope they listening.
Hey, I hope they listening,
I hope they listening.
I hope it.
Oh, wow.
I hope they listening. Hey,
You gonna download it? No, but I mean, it's
Pop, she killing your episode. I ain't gonna hold her. She murking your episode. Oh,
but it
bro.
bothers me. Like, well, he ain't got. Well, sis, what you got?
Yeah.
Stop. You know what I'm saying? And let's be clear. I think a lot of times, and fortunately for me and my friends, the majority are in healthy marriages and relationships. But, there are a few that will come in with a huge list. And, first of all, you're going to talk about you don't want kids. Baby girl, you're 50. If he ain't got kids by now, you might want to look at him cross-eyed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no disrespect. But, you have a list of what you don't want. It's like, oh my God, like, does he have 2 legs? I mean, at this point.
You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot.
Right, exactly.
No, I'm just playing. Shout out to Tita.
But it kills me with
Wow.
this laundry list of requirements. Like, you done made that man interview you like 800 times. Y'all done, when he gonna get the job? You know what I'm saying? And, God bless women.
You're right.
They
They gonna love this. This is from. Wait, hold on. Before
Yes.
you go,
Yes.
before you go, can I talk to him?
Talk to me, man.
This is for my brothers up north.
Oh,
Put
look.
off that jack, man.
Get full off that jack, Mac.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, first
Uh-oh.
5 back. We got Auntie D.
I'm here. But it
Pod
just
the back smack.
I don't know. It's just
My brothers up north.
you gotta, again, we talked about knowing who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to settle because happiness is clear. We have one life to live and you must be happy in it. But at the same time, are you setting the bar so high where you're setting yourself up for failure?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing?
Mm.
So, and God bless anyone that has to date in this day and age because it's really a text, social media world. Like, so you're not going to call me? Like, what we doing? Is we going on a date? Like, what?
Yeah.
So, it's challenging, especially in the city of Atlanta. Let's be clear. Because you don't know what door they coming through now.
Listen, I listen.
Understand that.
I love that.
You don't know. You don't know.
Can I tell? Listen. Let me tell you a story.
Rod, listen.
Listen, Rod. I've been to Atlanta probably 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
I love the city.
Okay.
I think it's great.
It is awesome city.
But first time I ever been to Atlanta was the first time I ever saw
the abundance.
Not even that. A gay man who didn't look gay.
Yeah, it's a different persona. You don't know.
Listen, I got on the train.
Okay.
And I saw a dude, Tim's wife beater.
Yeah. Oh
some
yeah,
jeans.
yeah. Oh yeah. Until he started talking.
But like he was about that.
Yeah.
Like girl.
That part.
I was like,
yeah, it happens.
Wow.
It happens. And the scary part is the ones who are on the DL don't present themselves in that manner.
Man.
So it's tough. I mean, God bless if you got a date in that city in this day and age, especially in my age bracket.
Yeah.
So God bless them. That's all I got. So, because I already told my husband, look, you try to leave me, we having conjugal visits, okay? I'd be like, tell your little girlfriend, your little wife, whoever. I'm picking up my 28-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing it, okay? Because I ain't trying to learn nobody else in that light.
That's real.
That's
real.
I mean, just ladies, y'all gotta be understanding of what it means to be in a committed partnership relationship. So that's all.
Wow, this episode's been bro.
Listen,
We're only 43 minutes, bro.
This episode one of them ones.
Such concise and so fire at the same
ones.
time. It's one of the ones, bro. Yeah, this ain't a bonus episode. This is a real episode.
Yeah, it's a real one.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right, so with Mother's Day coming up, one more thing before we, let you go. Mm-hmm. And what you've been amazing. I want to give you. You've been amazing.
One of the best guests we've had so far.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Dad, I love you. You my mans. And 50 grand.
50 grand.
She smoked stuff this episode. I ain't gonna lie to you. She came in smoking stuff. So with Mother's Day coming up, I just wanted to ask, what's you got a son?
I do.
Shout out TJ. You heard? What's your favorite thing about being a mom? What's your favorite part about being a mom?
I think the favorite thing about being a mom is watching the lessons that you've instilled in your child flourish. Watching them live out those lessons without necessarily having to be reminded of them. Because when you think your kids are not listening or watching you, they are doing exactly that. So he'll kind of regurgitate, so to speak, some things I may have said or done. And also, you listen to me? So I think it's beautiful to be able to watch you, especially as a mother, get that connection with your child as they're maturing in your belly. And then, birthing them into this world and watching them mature into something that is another positive contributor to society.
That's good.
So.
That's good. Well, on that note.
Yes, sir.
When we come out of Atlanta, we doing another one.
Woo-hoo.
We got to.
We got to be out on the patio. Your aunt built me a patio during the pandemic.
Facts.
That was his way to release some things. I don't know. Whatever it takes. But yeah, so we'll be around the fire pit getting the patio action going.
That's a fact.
That's what's up.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate you so much. I'm not lying. Like, for Rob to even stop and be like, it's one of the ones.
One of the ones.
I got a little twinkle in the eye. I thought maybe it was the brown liquor talking about.
No.
They're one of the ones, but I just want to say I appreciate you and I thank you and I love you so much for being a part of this this platform and sharing this wisdom. Like this was gold. Like this was amazing.
Thank you, and I will want to say thank you to you both for being that positive light into our community.
Thank you.
And bringing these discussions to the foreground, because these are not everyday discussions that households like us have. And so this is key and critical to maintaining a positive society. So I thank you both as well.
Man, Rob, thank you, my dog. Thank you to my studio audience.
They fake, y'all. They fake.
Man, if you like what you hear, make sure you hit the subscribe button, whether you're watching us on YouTube or wherever you stream your podcast, man. Subscribing is the easiest, cheapest, and best way that you can support us at this moment in time. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you do want to donate to the Reach Over Culture platform, $ Reach Over Culture. And if you are interested in sponsoring the Reach Over Culture podcast, hit us up at reachoverculture@gmail.com. We love y'all. Shout out to Auntie Diva D. You heard? They gonna love this.
I love you, Mommy. Skies on the track.